I had very specific reasons for purchasing this bike beyond availability, but now that I've reached the 500 mile mark and I'm starting to get a feel for it, I'm starting to question whether or not this was a mistake. Let's go through it. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. If you haven't done it yet, do that thing down below. So I'm getting close to 500 miles. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm already starting to question my decision in purchasing this bike. And I had some very specific reasons for purchasing it that I will go through and explain to you some of the things that are coming up that is making me question whether or not I made the right decision. So if you're interested to see that, stick around. There were a handful of reasons why I decided to get rid of my BMW R1200GS, and I settled in on the Yamaha Tenere 700 that you see here. And part of the reasons that I decided to do that was this bike is known for being extremely reliable. There's not a lot wrong with it, and there's not a lot that goes wrong with it, which really gives me confidence that it'll go a long time. I also know that this engine has been around for a long time. It gets great reviews. It has really good power delivery. The way the power is delivered over the range, it's smooth. It's a pretty easy engine to ride, and that was a factor in it as well. I didn't want something with high horsepower. The 74 that this has was really in that sweet spot of what I was looking for. This bike also has a lot of aftermarket parts availability, which is something that I look for before buying a bike, is seeing what I can do to it, to modify it, to personalize it to be the bike that I want it to be, to make the modifications to fit my style of riding, whether that be the long distance travel, the off-road riding, you know, a variety of both. I really like having that availability. And I have to say, researching this bike, prior to purchase, I could not believe how much aftermarket parts were available. How many companies have put together so many different parts, just small parts all the way up to full suspensions, and multiple companies doing that. There just was a lot, which really got me excited about the things that I could do with this bike. I also really liked that this bike was simple, no traction control, very basic ABS, not even real off-road ABS. It's either on or off. So I liked that part of it. And with the simplicity of it, there's just less to go wrong. Even the screen, the display was very simple. Maybe not my favorite, but you know, it's easy to ride. You basically get on, start it, and go. There isn't menus you have to go to adjust it. So I was looking for that simplicity in this bike. And really the number one reason I decided to go with the Yamaha Tenere was it's made in Japan. I wanted a Japanese adventure bike, and I know Suzuki has some bikes, Kawasaki has the KLR, but the Yamaha Tenere seemed to be more in line with what I was looking to do. This was closer to what I was looking for and what I wanted than the others. So that's why I chose this. But I wanted a Japanese bike for my next bike. That was one of the reasons why I went with this bike. All right, let's talk about some of the things that have came up already in the first few hundred miles of what has got me questioning whether or not this was the right decision. I will say, I knew this bike wasn't gonna have any features. I knew it was gonna be very simple, basic. I had even test ridden one of these a couple of years back. I knew what it was gonna feel like. But so far I have found it, I don't know how else to say it. It's meh. It's not an exciting bike. It's very utilitarian. It rides very agricultural. It's nothing special. It's just a point A to point B bike. It kind of reminds me of the KLR of single cylinders. This is the KLR of parallel twins. I like to be excited about riding a bike, and right now, other than trying to get my break-in mileage and not having a second bike here in New Mexico, I like riding, so I will continue to ride it, but it isn't something that when I'm on it, it inspires me to maybe ride faster or ride harder. and it might be just an adjustment period that I've got to go through, but those are some things I wasn't necessarily expecting. I think with my KTM 390 Adventure, that bike just wants to be ridden hard, and it performs better being ridden hard, and I think I've gotten used to the feel of just really wringing it out. And this bike, it's pretty smooth through the whole rev range, so you don't have to rev it out to really get everything out of it. So it just has a bit of a different feel. Now, it does handle really well. I've been surprised at being a 21 front, 18-inch rear, how it does handle well in the curves and stuff. I'm not a knee dragger. I don't go that hard, but it does feel pretty good. It just, I know this is probably going to offend some T7 owners out there. It just doesn't inspire me when I'm on it. I will go do the riding that I want to do, but there's just something missing. And maybe after I spend more time on this bike and get it set up for the things that I want to do, and maybe have some more experiences with it, that will change. So anyway, I just thought I would share that because I had made this decision based on reliability and, you know, what this bike is capable of, and knowing that it'll go a long time without too much trouble. So, but it might not just be very inspiring. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So let me know if you own one of these, what your thoughts on that are, if you feel the same way about it. Maybe I'm just missing something. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm going to continue to ride it. I'm going to put thousands of miles on this bike. I'm not going to get rid of it. It serves its purpose, but it just, I feel like something's missing. So if any of you can put your finger on that and help me figure out what that is, please let me know in the comments below. It's really just my thoughts as I'm moving forward and approaching that first oil change, where with other bikes, man, I was ripping through those miles to get there, and I'm working on it, but it just seems like something's missing. So anyway, thanks for watching. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there.